A woman in New York has been arrested after her two pit bulls attacked two men. Now, this brings up the interesting debate as to what we should do about pit bulls and whether or not they're considered a more dangerous breed than any other dog. But Cynthia Oliver, who's 55, is now facing charges, serious charges, after video captured her dogs attacking two men. Now, the video that we're about to show you is extremely graphic. I want to give you fair warning before we take a look at it. But let's take a quick look, and then I'll give you some more statistics and information on pit bulls.
Cece, call the cop, call the cop.
I don't know. I can stop it, though.
Hurry up, these dogs attacking a man!
You see a second Good Samaritan there getting attacked by the pit bulls as well. They both had to get taken to the hospital.
Yeah, let me tell you what their injuries were. The victim lost part of his right ear, sustained nerve damage to his arms, and had cuts all over his chest and arms. Oliver was arrested and charged with 8 counts of assault and 2 counts of reckless endangerment. So both of them had to go to the hospital. The person who was initially attacked by the pit bulls suffered the most injuries, but they're both expected to survive and recover. So
the main guy who was attacked, the 62-year-old Francesco Bove, is an Italian immigrant. He's an artist, and he's a terrific guy, as you'll see in this story. He had to have 5 hours of surgery on Friday night, and now he's still in the hospital. Has to stay there another week because they have to take some nerves from his legs and put it into his arms. So the dogs took chunks out of his arms, and they took a chunk out of his ear. As you saw there in the video, they dragged the dogs, bit into him, and dragged him across the street. Now, part of the reason I showed you that video is when we talk generically about dogs, dangerous dogs like pit bulls, Rottweilers, etc., there's there's probably 200 million dog lovers in the country. And they always say the same thing. No, but not my pit bull. No, not my Rottweiler. No, it's okay. No, it was the first time they ever did it. Nobody could have seen it coming. I showed you the video because now you can see it coming. They're dangerous animals. That doesn't mean you get rid of all pit bulls and stuff. I get it, right? And it doesn't mean I don't like dogs. Dogs are lovely. I have pets of my own. I've got family members who've got dogs. I even have a family member who has a pit bull, right? But I'm telling you, be careful. They're super dangerous animals. They're not to be taken lightly. And I've never met a dog owner who didn't tell me that, oh, no, but never, not mine, no way, no, not mine, and who I didn't then see taking their dogs super lightly.
So I did a lot of research into pit bulls just to see, what the consensus is about whether or not they're actually the most dangerous dogs. I'm a huge dog lover, and I'm against banning breeds. I don't think that that's effective. There have been studies into that. President Barack Obama said back in 2013 that banning an entire breed of dogs doesn't make any sense at all. It's a waste of resources. It's not an effective thing to do. And so that's not even a question. I'm not endorsing that whatsoever. However, you look into the numbers and you realize that pit bulls do tend to be the most violent dogs of any other breed, okay? So let me give you these statistics and then I'll tell you what the ASPCA and PETA say or recommend when it comes to pit bulls. So in a 10-year period from 2005 to 2014, pit bulls killed 203 Americans and accounted for 62% of the total record deaths, so 323. Keep in mind that pit bulls only account for 6% of the dog population. Okay? Combined, pit bulls and Rottweilers accounted for 74% of these deaths. Now, the ASPCA is saying that it's unfair to say that the entire breed is more violent than any other breed. They like to treat each pit bull individually, and it really depends on the environment that pit bull was raised in, right? So a lot of pit bulls are raised in poor neighborhoods, right? And they might have owners that don't have the resources necessary to care for them as much as they should. So as a result, they might be more violent than other dog breeds. So that was one thing that was mentioned. PETA actually, surprisingly enough, thinks that pit bulls should be regulated similarly to how like leopards and exotic animals are regulated, right? They're wild animals, they could be dangerous, so as a result, we need to be cautious with them. And that's coming from an animal rights organization.
Well, because if you're not cautious with them, what happens is these dogs are going to be euthanized, right? They're already been taken into an animal shelter, and that is very likely to be the case. Now, let me tell you about this guy who was attacked, who's lovely, and we'll come back to the dogs. So, a priest came by. He's in really bad shape, as you can see there. There was a bullet everywhere, right? They bring him to the hospital. Priest tells him, don't give up. And he says, he told me don't give up, so I don't give up. Okay, I love this guy. Turns out he owns a pit bull. Okay.
Wow, okay.
So, and his pit bull's name is Gina, and he's like, oh, no, please don't euthanize the dogs.
That's
right?
amazing. That's amazing.
Okay, what a great, great guy. I'm not half the man this guy is, okay? And he said the cops arrest the woman. To Anna's point about tough situations that some of these dogs are in, the owner there has been arrested 37 times, okay? Now, mainly for drug offenses. We got this crazy war on drugs and stuff like that. So we don't know if she's a dangerous person. And again, the guy who was attacked said, and the cops said, she sicked the dogs on him. He said, no, I never talked to the woman. She didn't sick the dogs on me. So I don't know why they're saying that. So I don't know who's right here, but I would imagine that the victim is more likely to be correct.
More than anyone else in this scenario.
Right. So I don't know why maybe the cops are frustrated with her, and so they wanted to be able to say that, and now she's been arrested on all these different counts, right, based on this. Mm-hmm. So I got mixed feelings about what should happen to her. I mean, I'd have to hear a lot more of the context to figure out how negligent was she, or how much of it was her fault. And so this guy says, no, it's not her fault. This guy says, no, don't put the dogs down. But at the end of the day, that makes him a great guy, but I don't agree with him. Those dogs are dangerous, not only because of what you saw in the video. It turns out this is not the first time they've done it. They also attacked one of her neighbors. And the neighbor says, those are vicious dogs, and she had to get a tetanus shot because she got bit. And she says, anytime I go outside my house now, I look around to see if those dogs are around. So what I'm trying to tell you is you might love your dog, and maybe your dog is fantastic. This is not about your dog, okay? But some dogs are dangerous. And I can't seem to get dog lovers to understand that, right? And they say, oh, now you hate dogs. No, of course I don't hate dogs. That's ridiculous, right? And as Anna just pointed out the numbers for you, only 6% of dogs in this country are pit bulls, but they cause 62% of the deaths. So are there some dogs that are more dangerous? Perhaps Rottweilers. Rottweilers can literally lose their minds, and if they do, they attack anything in sight. That's pretty dangerous, right? But for God's sake, if you have a dog like this, don't take it lightly, okay? It could be a killing machine. Most of them aren't. Most of them don't attack people, I understand. But some do, and when they do, they cause a lot of damage. I view it, in fact, it's pretty similar to how I view guns, right? Mm-hmm. So every gun owner, I'm super responsible, and then every day we got 18 stories about the kid who picked up the gun, and then one who shot the other one, and all this stuff, right? The same thing happens with pit bulls. I'm not saying ban pit bulls, but I kind of agree with the people you quoted there, SPCA, et cetera. Maybe we should have a little bit more regulation to make sure that they're handled in a responsible way.